We have Enes Kanter already on set, and we are ready to have a conversation with him to find out a little bit more about what he's doing here in Kenya, even as he has done a lot so far. You play the center for Oklahoma Thunder City. Thank you so much for joining us. You make me feel short, but it's okay. I was a center way back in my heyday, which was just yesterday.
Played basketball?
Yes,
okay.
I did. I was a center as well, and shamefully I didn't make it to the WNBA, but we all try.
Yes.
Welcome to Kenya.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Your journey to the African continent, born in Switzerland, Turkish nationality, playing in the NBA, which is in the United States, and now you're touring Africa. Give us your story. How did you find your place in the NBA?
Well, it's definitely still confused.
Yes.
Like you said. But well, I'm born in Switzerland. I'm from Turkey now. I've been playing basketball in NBA 5 years. So I just finished my fifth year in NBA with Oklahoma City Thunder. And then this year we just barely missed NBA finals. I just wanted to say. Barely. Yeah. Last game, 7th game. Yeah. We lost it. Yeah. But it's okay. We can come back
there's still
next
another
year.
round.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's my first time coming to Africa, and you know what? I loved it.
Even before we get to your passion for Africa, we always have an impact on all foreigners. Let's get to know your story. How did you find basketball as the sport for you, regardless of height? How did you find that was the sport for you?
Well, I wanted to be a soccer player when I was growing up, like 95% of the
Turks.
Turkey.
Yes.
But just because I was pretty tall and I was little, not too much, just little. Heavy.
Yes.
They would keep putting me in a goalkeeper,
yes.
So I was really bored there. That's why I just changed sports in basketball player. And then I played basketball like 10, 11 years. You know, I was just, my dream was always, you know, become an NBA player one day. But we know it was a little tough in Turkey. But there's one saying that if no one believes in you, believe in yourself, right? Yeah. So that's, I was like, we're working really hard, you know, try to chase my dreams. And I was giving myself 100%. And I was focused on what I need to focus on, and was just, you know, everything worked out well for me. A
lot of possibilities. You managed to shift from the European continent to the NBA, and that is literally the eye on the needle. By the time you crossed over to the United States, what were some of the possibilities that you had expected to be able to achieve by this point? You're only 24 years of age and you're already playing for the NBA.
I joined NBA when I was 19 years old.
Okay, incredible.
So it was really tough for me first because I was going against guys like
Warriors,
39, 40 years old. So it was like he was like twice my age. But you know, the one thing you can do, you just can go out there and just do your best and try to do, you know, try to go as hard as you can. So that's what I was trying to do. And you know, first I joined with Utah Jazz 2011, and then I played there like 3.5 years. And then after I joined Oklahoma City Thunder, you know, everything was working well for me because I was playing guys like Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and those guys was like the best players in the world.
They were beasts in the game.
They were giving me so much confidence. You know, whenever I play with them out there, whenever I play with them like Kevin Durant and Westbrook out there, I feel so much confidence, and you know, it made me feel so much comfortable because I always know that they got my back. So it was definitely a really good thing, you know, just playing the NBA and just being an NBA player.
Even as you've managed to cross over to the NBA, what are some of the achievements that you can say have been very key for you even as you're playing in the United States?
Well, I think the one thing you can do, you know, well, with every player, you're gonna have good games, you're gonna have bad games. You're gonna have good nights, you're gonna have bad nights. There is some nights I had 0 points. There are some nights I play horrible.
And how do you get through that night? Because at that point you feel like you've let the team down.
Yes, it's definitely tough because, well, it's the whole world watching you. Well, there is one thing you can do. You have another game to play the next day. And there's another thing you can do. You can never ever quit. Never ever give up. That was my thing. You're gonna have good games. You're gonna have bad games. Always
just
stay the same.
Accept the reality.
Definitely. Always stay in the same line. Don't be happy when you have good games. Don't be really sad when you have bad games. So and never ever give up. That's what I was trying to do for like 5 years.
Now that the playoffs are over and you're here on the African continent, what inspired you to say, I want to journey to the land of the unknown, the land I've never gone to, the continent that is said to be the continent of the next frontier? What attracted you to Africa?
Well, you know, you always hear Africa from the movies. You always hear from the people around you and everything. And I have like a lot of Turkish friends here. That's what they were keeping reminding me to Africa, and I really never had time. But this year, I wanted to come. I really wanted to see what's in Africa.
What's the story about Africa?
What's the story? It's amazing. Seriously, like the people here were, welcoming from the day one, and they're really warm people. Even like the kids I see out there, they're like so funny, always laughing, always happy. Even with the little things can make him so happy. Yeah. So I was just like really, really excited to come here. And then after I get, especially in Kenya. So I just, this morning with Light Academy, I went there with little kids. There was like hundreds and hundreds of kids. They probably don't even know who am I, but they were still like showing me that love, showing me that
they're very welcoming.
Warmness, yes.
And for the viewers out there, do you want to go to Enes Kanter's Twitter page and you'd get to see some of the videos that he shared on his experience here in Kenya with Turkish Light Academy, and also even as he's doing a lot of charity work in Kibera. Even as you're an NBA basketball player, what vision do you want for the sport on the African continent? Are you in Africa to push the sport further, or are you in Africa for other activities?
Well, last night I had a meeting with NBA Africa, and they were telling me about how should we do charity work, how should we do some basketball camps in Africa, because I see some really talented players. Like even today in Kenya, I played against really, really talented players. And I wasn't even that talented when I wasn't their age, because I some of them were really
this is
athletic.
You being modest.
No, I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just trying to be honest. They were really athletic. They were really, really good. But they only need one guy to take his hand, say, okay, this is what you need to focus on, and here's the way to NBA. And I think we can do it with NBA Africa. We can do it with with all this charity work.
What can we expect when it comes to your game, even as, yes, the playoffs are over, but the next round is coming? You said we barely missed the final.
Barely missed it. Cleveland won the championship.
Yes.
So the NBA season is over.
Yes.
So, but it was really sad. I didn't even watch NBA finals because
it's painful to watch when you're not playing.
You have no idea. No idea. Because whenever you watch them, you were like, oh,
I would have made that goal. Yeah.
I could have been out there. I could have played NBA final. I could have won a championship. But the one thing, you cannot keep thinking about it. Next year, just work on it, come back strong, and try to chase your dreams again.
You give young players on the African continent a few tips, even as you've just shared your story. But what can you tell a young player, girl or boy, interested in crossing over to the big leagues, because you are playing in the big leagues? What does it take to be in the NBA, to be in the WNBA? For some of us who never made it there, but you still hold hope for African sisters.
There is one thing that I said it before: if no one believes in you, believe in yourself. So it doesn't matter. When I first started playing basketball, I didn't have a basketball. I had like soccer ball that was shooting with basketball.
Use what you've got. Yeah.
So always focus on what you need to focus on, and just give yourself 100%. And it doesn't matter what happens, never ever give up. And just just go out there and chase your dreams. Put your dreams, put your goal in the highest level you can. What is this? Like an NBA championship, being an all-star, and try to chase for it. I mean, that's all you can do. And
this is the same energy that you're going to be pushing through the Light Foundation, which you have here in Kenya. Share with us the inspiration behind that, and whether it's going to be a sports foundation or there's something else you're going to be giving the kids.
Well, we created this foundation last year, but we're going to start it in September with my teammates, with my NBA teammates. And we created a foundation for the kids. Our number one thing is education, health, and try to help homeless people, try to fight against the hunger. So it's really important, kid, to take the kid and say, okay, you know what, no matter what around you, you can do it. But number one thing is education. My dad was always telling me that he wanted to be the good student before a good basketball player. So it's definitely education always comes before even basketball or any sports. So we're trying to make sure that the Enes Kanter Life Foundation is, to get the kid and tell them about how important education is, and try to
even as they're running for sports. Yeah.
Yes.
What inspires you? What keeps you grounded? We know the NBA is the big leagues, and a lot happens even beyond the scoring and the celebration. How do you keep yourself centered so that you're not drawn into the hype, the drama, the lifestyle?
Well, it's definitely tough because a lot of people, talking, a lot of people, you always have like the, big lights, everybody's talking about you, whatever. But you know what? If you're doing it to help others, there is nothing can stop you. If you're living for others, if you're playing the basketball for others, there is nothing can stop you. So that is motivated me. There's just one sentence, living for others. That really motivates me whenever I'm out there playing basketball. Because whenever I'm out there playing basketball, I'm like, I'm not playing just for myself. I'm playing for the people who's fighting against the hunger. People who needs education, people who needs, who needs help.
There's a purpose behind your playing.
Definitely. I mean, even if I just play basketball, I'll look selfish because I'm just playing for myself. If I'm playing for like people who needs help, then that basketball means something.
There's a harder drive behind you.
What do you mean?
There's a deeper drive behind you that motivates you to keep playing, especially when it comes to
I'm planning to play till 40 years old, if my body can take it. So I can, just keep in an NBA and try to help others.
And what platform can people get onto so that they can be part of the campaign? Is there a motto? Is there a hashtag? Is there a Twitter page?
We're going to start in September. We're going to have this live foundation in every continent. That's why we are going around, seeing kids, seeing people who's fighting against the hunger, seeing try to tell people how important education is. So it's going to start in September, and then after September, we're going to have a official page on internet. They can just go and just check it out.
We're not going to dilute your commitment. How many countries have you been to on the African continent? Is Kenya the first?
No, it's not the first.
Okay. How many countries have you been to?
So first I went to Johannesburg, Cape Town. I went to Mozambique. Now I'm in Kenya.
So you were in South Africa, then Mozambique. Now you're in Kenya. Now going to Uganda.
And then after that, I'm going to go to Abu Dhabi and Dubai. So it's definitely so exciting to go out there, go also on different countries and just seeing all these kids, and just seeing all these kids, the hungry kids, the humble kids, and just making me so excited.
Yeah. What take-home message will you have when you're going back to the NBA about the African story?
You know what? I will say, I feel like I'm in my second home, because this continent showed me a lot. This continent showed me, these people, the warm people show me a lot. So whenever I'm going back to my team, I'm gonna tell them, this continent is amazing. I will definitely want to come back here next year and the next year and have like a basketball camp and try to see who's really talented.
You already dressed to suit the occasion?
You know what? They gave me this Kenya shirt today, and I'm wearing it. Actually, in Mozambique, I had a Mandela shirt on. So I'm really trying to see what's, how African culture is. I'm really interesting.
You're taking to it very well. Thank you so much for coming to Kenya.
Appreciate it.
It was a real pleasure to host you, and of course, it will be a great pleasure to even watch other kids take up education and take up sports, even as you're pushing them to reach for their vision.
Well, I hope I'll be back here sitting with you next year with another teammate.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us, Enes. It was a pleasure.
We'll
take a very short break.